Hi, welcome. I really felt the call to sit down and do something a little different. Maybe not even use tarot, but use other tools to tap in intuitively to the messages that want to come through. And so the first thing I did was ask for a word and then another word. And the first word was clay, and the second word was pose. And then immediately it made me think of, oh, I'm sorry, you want your chair? Immediately it made me think of when people, like those real life drawing classes where you have a model come in and then you sketch and draw and maybe make clay. So maybe there's something to do with being malleable with clay, maybe being vulnerable to be in that position of the model when a whole class is looking at you. I don't know what's going to come through, except this guy's like, yeah, let's do it. Okay. You can be the co-pilot. Yes. And you can see here, I already know I'm going to tap into our storytelling cards. So I have different things here that we're going to tap it. Well, what is it? Do you need a kiss? Oh, okay. Is that in your way? Okay. So let's start with some mood cards. Oh, hi. What is it? He's needy. Oh my gosh. I love it so much. Give me a kiss. He's the best. He's the neediest. Okay. Don't let him fool you. He was just ripping the heck out of my carpet a minute ago. Okay, we have playful point, city of the playful point. I guess that's what. So I'm just going to put playful, city of the playful point, and then we'll set these aside. And then this is Life Happens Oracle. So let's see what wants to come through for this. By the way, I'm going to have to push pause soon. I'm selling my motorcycle. Okay. Two-faced. Ooh, interesting. We'll see what that's all about. And then these are oblique strategies. This is that Brian Eno deck that he created, the musician and producer. And he and a friend sat down years ago, probably in their 20s. He's like pulling my arm toward him. What? Do you want to play? And so we'll see what comes through. When is it for? These are just they're called oblique strategies, like questions for when you have a creative problem. When is it for? Ooh. I'm just taking one thing at a time instead of overdoing it with a lot of different messages from each deck. So we're going to play and combine things. And these are the resilience cards. They're so tiny, like you. Except you're kind of big right now on my desk. Okay. These are slippery and tiny. Okay, we'll take that one. It says, the trick isn't to try to avoid suffering, but to ensure that it renders us a little more interesting and humane. Can you? Oh, no. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, my God. What? Oh, he was playing with my crystals. They're like little cat toys to him. The trick isn't to try to avoid suffering, but to ensure that it renders us a little more interesting and humane. That's it. That's so cool because of the playful. So if you look at suffering as it's not something to avoid, but if we become playful with it, perhaps we can learn something about ourselves. Like it makes us more interesting and humane if we can have some playfulness about it. And then this two-face, there's a mask here. So something about wearing masks, well, that causes suffering, doesn't it? And when is it for? Ooh, let's see what we have here. So what I'd like to do now is just tap in. I'm not even going to shuffle. I'm just going to pull intuitively some cards. And then we'll flip them over. Nope, those wanted to come out together. I feel like the number 5. Okay, ready? We have a shoe with a little guy on the front with like these shoes are ships, and he's navigating. He's steering the ship. Is that what you say? And there's a steam thing. I think that's a steam stack or something on the back. And then we have grapes, like this face looking out of the grapes, like, oh, don't mind me, I'm just a grape, or trying to fit in with the grapes. And then we have this looks like a captain's hat, actually, from the back, and a lot of tattoos that look like a map. Oh, interesting. The map is on their back, and there's a light hanging above them with some butterfly-looking creatures. Yeah, butterflies. And I don't know if the map says anything legible, but it definitely has arrows and like land masses and like the dotted, oh, and a compass. That map symbol there is that compass symbol. Ooh, are you the captain of your ship? Oh gosh. And then there's, see what I mean? Jelly bean, control your urges. Okay, so then there's I don't even know what this is. It's like a creature that has branches, like there's a mask over each eye that has branches going up, and then it looks like those characters in Princess Mononoke, the forest creatures, forest spirits, or whatever they're called. They have a different name. And this person is holding, it's like something else is coming out of the top of their head, which I don't know what it is, but then they're holding on to like a bag or purse or something with their tiny little hands. And then we have, I've seen this one before. There's this woman creature, female looking creature with octopus lower body, but it's very tribal. And she's like reaching out for this lamp post, or it's a crystal ball on a stand with a heart in it that looks very like wispy, and she has heart eyes, like she's searching for love, but she feels a little like, I don't know, like maybe she's searching for love within a tribe. So, ooh, this is, what are we feeling about this? There definitely seems to be a vibe of like, where are you going? Because this is not, we can't see ahead of where this shoe ship is going, but it's like, it's almost like I'm getting this vibe of like, because it's shoes, it's like, it's saying, and his back is to us. So there's this like, your journey isn't going to be seen through and somebody else, like putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. Your journey is unique. It's definitely unique. And it's almost like you're searching for love within a tribe, like within community. And then this is like, yeah, that feeling of when I said, oh, he's just trying to fit in with the grapes. There's something about maybe wanting to fit in. And maybe that has to do with this mask. It's like, do you put on appearances or put on masks to try to fit in? We'll see what happens there. And then again, there's this mask showing up here, and these creatures, these like spirit creatures, kind of having a home on these branches that are coming out from the eyes. So it's almost like, do you see spirits? Let me know if you do. Oh yeah, I'm really curious what that's all about. It could also just be that playfulness energy, like dress up and like imagination, but I don't know. That doesn't feel entirely right. So and also there's this thing about, like, this person does remind me of it makes us more interesting. So jelly bean, stop it. I'm very interested in this character. So there's something here about like playing dress up or being your weird self. It is also a little bit like wearing masks. And then when is it for is a question. I'm really curious. I want one more oblique strategy. Be dirty means get messy. And I think that has to do with like the suffering. Like, get messy, be playful. I'm going to put that over here with be playful. Like, be dirty. Okay, what are you guys feeling about this? Oh my God, that hit the back of my throat. So what I'd like to do now is I'm going to use our Muse cards and pull a couple more picture images, and then maybe we will do some tarot. I would also like to end with an oracle message to see how that might tap in and relate to this. So it's definitely something about your journey is going to be is so unique out of suffering. Like, to move out of suffering, your journey has to look like no one else's. You can't put yourself in someone else's shoes and try to understand your unique journey. Like, look at this. He's always like draping himself over my arms. He's like, stop shuffling. Oh my God, this just immediately reminded me of another map. Look at that. But it's like different worlds. And look, there's like, I think of tribes. Like, there's these times in history. There's castles, there's pyramids, there's teepees. Oh, wow. Like, all the cultures of the world. It gives me that tribal vibe again. So I'm going to put that there. Tribal Bible. Oh my gosh, I love you so much. Okay, there's this woman. I know we've gotten this before in a reading. This female figure walking through a landscape, but it's like on a stage because these are cardboard cutouts. It's like when a elementary school puts on a play or something, and she's walking through the scenery with bubbles, and it's sunny out, but she has an umbrella, and she's got work clothes on, like overalls, but she doesn't look like she's working. She looks totally at peace, satisfied, happy, and walking through this fake scenery. So it's almost like, it kind of reminds me of you're fully prepared for every eventual outcome. It's like that hypervigilance again showing up, where that happens a lot with suffering or trauma, where you're like, something I've been suffering through has made me like, I have to be hyper alert and mainly just prepared for every eventual outcome. It could just be as simple as, like, I feel like I always have to be ready, and it keeps me from being truly in touch with my surroundings. Like, if you can be really present, like she doesn't seem entirely present. Like, her eyes are closed. She's kind of sleepwalking through this scenery. Yeah, let's call it sleepwalking through life. She's not really present and engaged in her own life. She's just really prepared in case it rains, but it's totally sunny. So she's like, I have to be protected, and I'm not really present. And so I'm just sort of like, that's what that reminds me of. There's something about these tribes and like your journey and trying to fit in or trying to find your belonging. I know I've seen this one before too. So there's this robot creature on a journey. I think last time I even said he reminds me of the Fool, because he's got his toolbox on his stick. Like, this is all I need as a robot. It's just all my nuts and bolts carrying on my back. And he's got like an air filter next to him that looks like a dog or a pet. And then the sheep are out there with their eyes closed. They look like happy sheep, but they're electric sheep. Do androids dream of electric sheep? I think I said that last time. Like, that's what those sheep remind me of, because they are like a little bit electrified. They've got like, they have, because their antennas look like electricity is connecting to those, like whatever that device is. And there's sheep off in the distance, but there's also a city back there that looks very industrial, like a lot of factories. And it's almost like he's venturing off to find his new tribe, maybe his new home. That's what I wanted to say. His new home. Let's see, one more. And we have this guy. I know I've seen him too. I guess I've had these cards a little while now. So he's like this creature who's just like gobble, gobble, gobble. And this grandmotherly presence in the background, who looks like a totally normal human, looks at him lovingly, like full on accepting and maybe hoping he'll like what she just made for him. And he's like some creature. He's not himself. And he looks a little pudgy in the belly. Like there's almost like a feeding frenzy here. Like maybe it's that distraction energy of like, just fill the void. And it's like when we do that, we're not really ourselves, you know, and that can cause more suffering too. We're just trying to fill the void, to stop the suffering, make ourselves feel comforted. And so there's all of that going on here. So I'm going to move you yet again. And now that we've got a lot of feelings, let's actually go into the tarot. But first, what I want to do is pull a card. I still have everything at my studio, so I'm trying to... There's the other cat. Oh my God, it's endless around here. Cat shenanigans. So I wanted to pull an oracle that will flip at the end and see if it's related to any of those. We'll put that here as a reminder. Okay. So let's go into the tarot and mix up these babies. These are the old school tarot. They kind of give me these like cartoony vibes as well. And so let's see, like, what is this reading really trying to tell us? What? Because it feels like, what did we say? A journey, finding our tribe, trying to fit in, trying to maybe stop wearing masks or maybe wearing the masks is helping us be playful, like trying on a new persona to see like, will this help me move through my suffering? And I don't know if it's all about suffering, but it is something like to be human, like be messy. Just stop pretending that you've got it all together, that you know exactly where you're going. So maybe it's as simple as that. So we've got the 5 of Swords, the King of Swords. Oh, are we going to get another sword? The 5 of Pentacles. Wow. 5. Ooh, this is a reading about suffering, but it's like suffering of this feeling of like suffering out of the angst and worry of being not enough. Like I don't feel like I'm enough. I don't feel like I belong, that I did maybe even deserve belonging. And this 5 of Swords is like looking, this one might be, oh, hold on. It's like he's in judgment of other people. There's been some conflict, and he's like, these other people are walking away from him, and he's gathered up all his toys, like, see, I won. And so there's something about keeping others. I don't know if it's keeping others, because sometimes the 5 of Swords is like looking back on your life at different points and trying to learn lessons from the hurt that's been done, either to you or you to somebody else. And so it's a very angsty time of learning. So you're learning about some prior hurts that have been done. And the King of Swords is here right in the middle of these two like suffering kind of cards. Now, so these are temporary suffering in the form of a teacher, like you're trying to learn through the suffering. And the King of Swords is like trying to transform. See this butterfly above him? It seems like it's saying it's trying to transform his whole way of thinking through this suffering. So there's that. And then what I want to do, I'm going to pull out our movie tarot, because, you know, imagery, storytelling, let's just keep going. These are very cartoony as well. And let's just keep, I'm going to move these here and just keep going and peeling back these layers. See what wants to be revealed. So the Ace of Cups and the 2 of Wands. going to do one more. And the Queen of Pentacles. This is through, so the Two of Wands says you're desiring to be different. You're desiring to move out of this comfort zone because you know that there's more for you out there, outside of whatever your barriers are right now, whatever those blockages to happiness are, whatever your suffering is. It's because you've kept yourself a little bit small, a little bit saying like, I'm not worthy of that. There's this worthiness stuff coming in, like this feeling like the outsider, trying to fit in, trying to find your sense of belonging. And when we do that, like that whole mask stuff, it keeps coming in of who am I really? And I want to fit in, so do I have to change who I am? And then sometimes that comes out of past wounds. And something maybe in our past made us feel like we didn't belong, or maybe felt like we weren't worthy enough. And so the Two of Wands is saying it's time to like break through that barrier, whatever it is, and it's going to lead you to this emotional just healing. And it's the Ace is saying now's the time to do this. It's you have a fresh start here. Don't carry forward any of these past judgments about yourself. It's time to move beyond that, because you're going towards the Queen of Pentacles, or in this case, Queen of Coins. See, Tomb Raider. I'm not going to get into all the characters. I think that's Alice in Wonderland or something. And so the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's like, you're moving into this caring for yourself. That's what it's about. Thank you. There's something here where it's like, in order to find belonging with other people, you have to find belonging internally first. And that's what it's saying, because all of this is singular in nature. The Two of Wands is this person who's like, kind of like looking, like wanting so desperately to break out of their own boundaries that they've kept themselves in, because they know there's more at stake. There's more to be had. But first it's saying you've got to learn how to care for, like, love yourself. And maybe that's why this get messy. You don't have to wear this idea of perfection, or even like you've got it all together, or I've got to be this way in order to fit in with them. So that's definitely keeps coming through. I'm going to keep going. I want to know more. And so, you know what? Since we talked about playfulness, let's keep going with the cartoons, the playful cards. Because this seems to, like, we've got all this, like, this is where we're coming from. This is how we're moving through it and why. And let's keep going forward. We've got the Three of Swords. Well, that to me seems like we're going backwards, but we'll see. And the Six of Swords, we're healing from some heartache. What happened? Think about what were those moments, or maybe it's just one moment where you had extreme heartache, heartbreak, like feeling unloved, feeling unworthy. And it's saying you're going to heal. That's time to heal it. The Six of Swords is the healing card. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So you are moving toward the Queen of Pentacles, where it's like the Ace is here to say, it's like, again, another ace. It's time to do the healing, because you're going to, it's in the name of loving yourself, caring for yourself, telling yourself you're worthy. Okay. I wonder if we can get any more clarity on this. Let's use our beautiful spirit song cards. Oh, one with a little bit more clarity on maybe, what am I curious about? I'm curious about how to do the work, or because you probably know your story. So I don't think we need to go too far into the past. This feels like a searching journey, and searching means, like, to me, we're trying to find a map out of this. We're trying to find our own path, our own unique path. So you know what your story is. We don't need to go backwards in time. It feels like we're being called forward to heal this suffering. We have the Four of Pentacles. This is something about control and security. So that does feel like we talked about that. This tribe, like trying, and this is her trying to have control and security but she's sleepwalking through life because she really doesn't want to face something, but she's always prepared. So there's something about your sense of control and security in life. And if you're trying to have control or find your sense of security within a group of people, or find the people who really care for you, you can't control it. Like, it's almost like you have to put yourself out there and be vulnerable. And then we have the Hanged Man. It says patience and perspective. And this is, we talked about perspective, like putting yourself in other people's shoes. It's almost like you have to find your own perspective, and the Hanged Man does that by like really going through it. He really, it's calling you to, I mean, it might be a little painful. It kind of reminds me of the Five of Swords. You really have to reflect and get honest with where you've been, what you want to feel. What do you want to feel? And then have the patience as you move through these feelings. It's not a quick fix, and it's just maybe being truthful with yourself about, okay, this journey is usually like this, and sometimes backwards and forwards again, and we got to move through it, not just sidestep it. And it's saying have patience for that journey, because you're going to gain a lot of clarity, and you're going to come into your own truth, whatever that is, with what are you truly seeking? What do you want? Do you want to be in connection with other people, or would you just want to be able to sit still with yourself without all of this? Because does this drive you crazy where you can't even, it's like you want to crawl out of your own skin? Or you're fine with that, but now you're like, you want to branch out and like seek connection with other people. This has a little bit of energy of both, but mostly about, I think it's seeking other people. So that's just all to say, try to inquire about it's asking you to inquire about what's really going on, what's really important to you. And they both can be important, but which one do you want to think about first? And then we have the Page of Acorns or Wands. So that's funny. There's discovery and enthusiasm here. So it's saying, that's kind of reminds me of the Two of Wands, where it's like this is saying you are inspired, you're ready for the discovery. And the Two of Wands is saying like, okay, well, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. The Hanged Man is there to say, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but it's worth it. You're going to gain something from going through this healing journey to heal whatever this heartache, whatever this wound. It's like a deep heart wound, like some like love that you need to, like a hole there that you need to fill with your own love first. And it's saying like, now's the time to do it. You have to move through it, and you're really inspired to do it. And it's something around recognizing that control is an illusion. We've talked about that. But finding your sense of security, your place of security within yourself and with other people. Something about following something. What? Okay, let's get the oracle message. It says Earth. Number 17. Where are you? I gotta check. I gotta make sure my motorcycle people aren't coming. Okay. The essence. Earth represents the gift of life. The symbol on this card refers to the body of the planet Earth, the human body, and nature herself. It's a beautiful artwork. We're reminded by this symbol that all creatures are born of the earth, and human beings are the stewards of all life on this planet. It refers to what we make of it, our health, wealth, security, grounding, solidity, and stability. That's what this right there. Stability, security. It's so funny that said that exactly. Control, security. The invitation. When the earth symbol appears, it represents a need to focus on reverence and appreciation for the natural gifts that are coming to you now and always. The concrete world you inhabit is there by the grace of spirit, and you are part of it. Much can be accomplished now when you focus on compassionate, reverent service to the world. If you act with integrity, gratitude, and humility, you will find yourself more prosperous than you can imagine. Success is assured when the earth appears as an invitation. I love that, because it's like stepping out of just the self-focus, but moving into service and gratitude is what helps move this stuck energy. The medicine. Do you feel ungrounded or easily thrown off your path lately? It is time to focus on what nurtures you, to open yourself to the healing of Mother Earth and see the abundant world around you. Perhaps you have lost the ability to trust that your needs will be met and have fallen prey to poverty consciousness. That's the 5 of Pentacles here. Lack. Perhaps you have not been eating well, been overworked and stressed, and forgotten to breathe in the beauty of your surroundings. When the Spirit of Earth comes as your medicine, you're being reminded that when you practice self-care, take a walk in nature, and focus on the consciousness of abundance, miracles can and do happen. I love that. I think I've got to push pause for a second and just check to make sure. I think I saw somebody come up to the house or heard somebody. So I'm going to push pause. So I'll be literally right back. Hi, I'm back. For you, it was 2 seconds. For me, it was a half hour. But the motorcycle, it's gone. We sold it. Yay! It's been a journey of only a couple months, but I've been having this feeling like for the last year. I'm like, I need to sell this. And it was the most perfect buyer, you guys. Ooh! Like, it couldn't have been a more smooth, perfect transaction. I've never sold a vehicle like that before, one-on-one, and like changing the title over and doing all the things. I don't know. It just went so smoothly. So anyway, yay. What I wanted to do, so there's this earth invitation to, like the invitation with this card is to nurture yourself and to have reverence or appreciation or gratitude for the things that you do have coming toward you. There's this coming toward verbiage in what we read with this Earth Oracle card. And so there's something about like nurture yourself, go into nature and tap into that ever-present healing like that Mother Earth has to sustain us. So what is it that sustains you? And it's saying like focus on that, because this energy here of maybe what you've been trying to sustain yourself with or comfort yourself with is actually a little bit not great or problematic in some other way. It's causing other problems in the where you're seeking comfort, that's kind of pulling you out of presence. And this earth energy is like, no, come back into presence with yourself and say, what really nurtures me? And it's building up it's like showing yourself love and be playful, get dirty, like be messy. There's something like just be a messy human and see what comforts you. Oh, I love that. Let's get a final message. We have the Emperor. I'm doing all threes. 3 of Cups. And the Page of Wands. Oh, that's so funny because we've gotten the page. I think we've got like 3 pages, which are like these messengers or aces maybe. Did we get? No, we got aces, but we did get the Page of Wands here. So we got the Page of Wands twice. So there's like this with the Page of Wands. Again, they're messengers, but they're very grounded. And so there's this idea of with the Page of Wands, it says like, go forth with your inspiration. You're very curious about this. And well, let me just back up. The Emperor, the 3 of Cups, and the Page of Wands is saying like, break free from the rigidity, the boundary that you've kept yourself in, the rigidity of the image that you have of yourself. And saying, break free from that, because that's what's going to bring you into communion with other people, into community. And this is this togetherness card out of love, out of just like, it's just joy and celebration. So it's saying that's the final message is follow your curiosity and nurture yourself to break free out of that rigid bubble. It feels a little rigid, like it's got to look this way. And where does that ring true for you? Because these messages are kind of like, it's easy to say these things, but if you want to get really specific, it's going to need like you to or whoever to say, well, where do I feel restricted? Where do I feel like I can't be myself? what am I doing when I feel that way? What am I thinking when I feel that way? So it's going to take some inquiry if you don't already have a sense of, well, what is that? What is this? How do I get in to this feeling? What's my way in? Is inquiry. Really look, like feel the feelings, and then look like, where do I feel that in my body? What am I doing when this happens? And see if that's a clue to breaking out of that barrier. It's like when we keep ourselves small, it's out of protection, right? That's showing up here. There's like doing these things that we feel like are protective, but they really keep us out of presence with ourselves. And this is saying, come back into presence with yourself. Be a messy human. And then you can stop wearing the masks to try to fit in, because you're now at home in your own self, and then you feel more like your authentic self, and you're like, then those people come to you, like those gifts come to you, like this card said. So it's like, I first have to believe that that's what I am and what I deserve, and I don't care what other people think at this point. I'm no longer seeking outward. I've healed internally, and therefore now I'm going to find my people naturally that I connect with. And then let's go back to the words clay and pose. It's so interesting because now I'm thinking of it and as the term like pose, as in I'm posing. There's masks. Where do you feel in your life that you are posing? Are you playing a role, or like you're contorting yourself a little bit into something that you aren't naturally, or that you hope to be, but that you're not feeling that way yet? And then the clay is this idea that there's this, right now you might feel malleable because you're like shape shifting into these different, like, who am I? Maybe they'll like this person. Maybe I can fit in over here if I'm more like this. When it's really the I guess paradox of that is, by healing this, you will like finally mold into your authentic self, who you're meant to be out, like in relation with other people. So yeah, I don't know what else. That's about all that's coming through with this. So hope you liked. Sorry, I'm just like chill. Yeah, let me know what you think, and see like where this resonated or where it didn't. So thanks for being here, and I really appreciate you. And feel free to connect in any way or request a one-on-one reading if you feel so called. And then we can even dig into this deeper with more inquiries. So best of luck.